We're sending a clerk in to help you unmute, okay? Oh, can you hear us, Mr. Brown?
It's muted.
Can you hear it? No.
Yes.
Go ahead and just start talking. Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay, yes, I'm Leon Brown. I have a letter from my wife with power of attorney. She has my 2-year-old grandson right now.
Okay.
She signed and dated it.
Okay, you're good.
Okay.
And I take it that is Melinda Brown is your wife.
Yes.
Okay. All right, real good. Okay, this is a termination of tenancy claim. And I guess, was there a lease on this premises?
Yes,
There was no written lease. There was an oral agreement.
Your Honor. I
Yes.
have a problem with that because I signed a 5-year lease with option to buy. My wife's a pet groomer and she got a percentage of the grooming, and we were gonna open boarding for dogs and she was gonna get a percentage of that. I signed for me and my wife and she signed and dated it, but she didn't give me a copy of it. So now she's lying that there wasn't one. And at the beginning, I told her I could not rent a place like that because I needed to move her out, move us in, redo everything. And I couldn't rent because I couldn't do all that work and then have to move in a month or whatever. So we did a lease agreement on paper that she didn't give me a copy of. That's what she's going off of now, that the person that I signed this with isn't her. It's all been lies and fraud, my whole tenancy. And I got a,
Okay, hold on.
okay. So I didn't even know if this was real. I didn't even know if this was real or if it was fraud.
Okay, so hold on. To the records, are you claiming rent or you want possession of the premises?
Possession of the premises, order of eviction, and money damages.
Okay.
And your honor, in relation to the lease that Leon is talking about, he has a propensity to exaggerate and distort and claim things at a much later date.
All right. We can stop that now because I'll just assume everybody's a liar and we'll go there. Okay. So we'll just work from that perspective. I'm not going to listen to all of that. I'm looking to make sure that all of the paperwork. Okay. So there's a problem here. The notice to quit that you given the court or that was served on them on July 8th, or so it says, is a non-payment saying that they owe $1,500.
That's correct. In addition, he owes consumers propane.
Okay. All right. But then I have another notice but I don't have the court copy. I have another notice saying that you're terminating his tenancy, but I don't have the court's copy.
But he has a copy.
That would tell me how long a period in time you gave him. But regardless of that, I then have a health hazard. What are you? That was served on 7/25. All right. And then the only complaint I have is a termination of tenancy complaint. But I don't have a proper notice in the file
A notice
for
for
a
what, Your Honor?
termination.
There was
Pardon?
there was a 30-day notice to quit that was sent on June 20th, 2024. There was a
June
7-day,
20th.
yes, sir.
It was a letter
I don't have that.
that was filed.
It was filed with the complaint.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I've got, because you've got a lot of paper in here, most of it unnecessary. I have a demand for possession, non-payment of rent that was served on July 8th. Purportedly served on July 8th to Mr. and Mrs. Brown. That's a 7-day notice for non-payment. That says he owes $1,500. There's then a lot of other paperwork, not a statutory notice. I then have a demand for possession, termination of tenancy due to unlawful drug activity. That was served on July 31st. I have nothing to indicate any drug activity, but whatever.
I have exhibits that I can show you.
Ma'am, you're telling me what I have in my file. I'm letting you know what I have in my file. So I have those two notices. I then have another notice. This is crazy. Demand for possession, damage, health hazard to premises, which was served on 7/25. So I have that notice. I then have, along with a bunch of other paperwork, I then have another notice that indicates that it was served on June 20th, saying that they had to move by August 3rd at 5 p.m.
That's the 30-day notice.
That's
And
the
that one
30-day
was
notice.
that was supposedly served by first class mail on June 20th.
Correct.
That's correct.
And then I have a termination case. So I have all of these conflicting notices. So which one are you trying to proceed on?
I want the judgment of possession. I want the termination of tenancy, order of eviction with money damages.
Oh my God. Okay. That was not an answer to my question.
I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. I'm going to,
Your Honor, can I speak?
no,
Okay.
because right now, this paperwork is all a mess. Because I have a non-payment of rent. I've got all of those other notices in. Even if I ignore all of those other notices, and I'm not sure that I can because they overlap. I then have a termination of tenancy that it's terminated, claiming that he's a trespasser, which I don't know how that would even be applicable. But then I have terminated by notice to quit, and I presume you're going on the June 20th notice to quit. But he's saying he's got a lease.
Your Honor, if I may interject.
Who are you?
Pardon me?
Who are you?
Okay, I'm her father. I'm the one that delivered the papers to Celine. And I delivered the papers They were date stamped on July 13th. At that time, there was a big stack of papers. There was a complaint filed for non-payment of rent. There was a complaint filed for damage to the property, and there was a complaint filed for recovery of possession. Approximately a few days later, my daughter got a call. She was in Nashville, that the paperwork was filed wrong. And so she asked me, since I live in Toledo, to go down there and straighten it out for her. When I went there, they told me I had too much paperwork, that I didn't need the complaint form for the non-payment of rent and for the complaint also for damages to the property. So I had to rip those out. And the clerk there said the exhibits or the attachments that we had to the complaint for recovery of possession would be satisfactory. Concerning those different terminations, he was given a 30-day notice on.
Sir, I have no idea what the clerks may have told you.
You have no idea what?
I don't have any of that stuff.
Well,
What
Your
I
Honor,
have is a complaint for termination of tenancy. That's the only complaint I have.
okay. And I have copies of the original complaint that it contained all three.
I don't know how you would do all three, but okay. The only one that I have is a termination of tenancy.
Well, that's the most important.
Your Honor, can I speak?
Go ahead,
I have
briefly.
already been forcefully terminated. They have came to my house uninvited, arguments after arguments, traumatized my grandson, my daughter. My son is mentally ill, under treatment. He just got dropped off at the house by the state of Michigan, DHS, and they had the driveway blocked and the house wide open. And it has been a nightmare. And I've been out since July 29th. I've been out of there, but I've been trying to recuperate my property. But I can't do that because I keep having them pull in uninvited. You're supposed to have a 24-hour notice. I've had the.
Why are you going to the property?
Because the grass has not been cut. I'm getting complaints from the township and the neighbors about the amount of junk that's being dumped on the land, the amount of boats that were stored on the land. And he had stopped cutting the grass. So that's why we went onto the property to get the grass cut.
Did you block the driveway?
No, it's a huge driveway.
It was blocked, Your Honor. My son is mentally ill. The Department of Health and Human Services had to take him to a gas station where I could pick him up because he was scared to go there. I mean, he's really under intensive care. And this is all a smoke screen because she's committed fraud with the banks and was using that.
Objection, Your Honor.
Was using that.
First of all, that's irrelevant to an eviction.
Your Honor, this is the smoke screen. She's got problems with the bank. They wouldn't accept my payment. They wouldn't accept my payment or let me open an escrow account because of her fraud.
That objection, Your Honor. That's completely false.
Were you there? Were you there?
This is the case where that attorney reached out from like out of state asking you, this is that case. So my understanding is they were talking to an attorney.
Who?
Last name was Sanders.
Who was talking to him?
I believe it was something like that.
Was having an attorney represent them?
We received an email from this person.
I don't, yeah, but I don't have anything.
House, I was just.
Okay, oh, that's the one, okay. All right, folks.
So I have already been evicted. I will not step foot back on the property.
Well, they're claiming a whole lot more, so I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna set it for a final settlement conference, September 10th, 2024 at 9 a.m. at the 14A1 location. Everybody needs to be here in person.
Your Honor, can I have
Yes.
time? Can I have time to get an attorney? Because she's.
You have time? You have time, sir? You can get
she's
an
using
attorney
her
anytime between now and the 10th.
She's using her father as an attorney, and I believe that
Oh.
he doesn't have a license.
Okay. Well,
Your Honor, if I may speak, I'm her father. I am an attorney. I am licensed to practice in Ohio. I did make an attempt to get temporary admission to practice in the state of Michigan. I had a sponsoring attorney lined up. At the last minute, he backed out. I tried to find another sponsoring attorney. I called the economic disaster unit or recovery unit.
Sir, we received all of that information. You
Okay,
can't proceed as a licensed attorney without temporary admission. They gave you the process by which you'd have to do that.
that's right.
That's right. So I am acting pro se. And my father is here as my agent and my witness.
Okay, you guys like to use a lot of big legal words and have no idea what they mean. So here's what's gonna happen. Understand this, everybody needs to be in my courtroom September 10th, 9 a.m. in person. Sir, if you want to get an attorney, you have plenty of time between now and then to get an attorney to represent you on the matter.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you, folks. September 10th, 9 a.m.
Can I just say that I've been evicted and I will not be back at the property?
Well, I don't know what you're saying. All I'm saying is I'm not making any ruling. Everybody needs to be here September 10th, 9 a.m. Anybody got anything else? You really probably don't want to say anything else.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Great. Everybody have a wonderful holiday. We'll see you on the 10th.
Thank you.
Yes. Court recalls the case Valley Ranch versus Van Wassanova.
The record, Your Honor, Rachel Dornbush, Palace Law, on behalf of the plaintiff. Your Honor, I was able to confirm with my client receipt of that $2,400 payment.
Okay, great. Then what? And you're not, Miss Van Wassanova, you're not going to have another